message. Please give a warm welcome for his patience and expertise.
蔡永先生佢講一啲重要嘅信息。
Okay, I didn't realize I was going to wrap up the whole meeting. Do that as well. Nancy's reminded me, and we all need to be reminded that the responses to the environmental impact statement that it might do Monday. So we need to get our letters in. They go to the mayor, they go to the chief architect of the Department of Corrections. Now I'm saying this, we're going to send those, and let me back up. So in the interest of transparency.
咁我而家咧就講俾你聽，因為嗰個事件咧已經係好急㗎啦。如果我哋要回應個環評事件，即係環保嘅事件咧，我哋應該係星期一要將信件寄去市府同埋懲教處。
Okay, so when we have all sat at least two public meetings where the city presented, the plan. And if you remember, we saw a rendering that showed 80 Center, and the building above just kind of faded out. It was like about half an inch tall, and it doesn't really show that we would have this booming 40-story penal colony casting a terrible shadow all over Columbus Park and our buildings. And I'm a resident of Chapman's House, across the street.
咁樣我想講俾你聽咧，佢係中央街80號咧，就係40層樓，咁有少少閃落去，一路閃落去尖地咁樣嘅。咁樣我覺得佢有好大嘅陰影係會放咗落個社區裏邊。我自己咧就係扯臨時嗰嘅大廈居民。
So, in order to respond to the EIS, I said let me dig into what is presented in the city's documents, which, by the way, are not easy to find. You have to go on multiple websites, Department of Corrections, City Planning, and you find an EAS, an EIS, and a few other documents, and you really have to plow through them with the report, which is obviously was a setup. To say, and in bold text it says, right, it's supposed to be closed at that 5 times, in case you didn't read the 41 pages.
咁亦都係呢個唔係好用家友善嘅一個文件嚟嘅。咁當我要睇到嗰個 EIS 嗰個環境影響研究嘅時候咧，你睇到你要去紐約市嘅辦公室嘅文件，亦都要睇懲教處嘅文件，亦都要睇城市建設嘅文件，一啲 PIS 一啲 EIS 咁樣係睇唔同方面，咁然之後至有個大概應該係點樣樣。
So, in terms of what is in these documents, there's a very important fact that I found should have made this proposal very much dead on arrival, which is that in terms of zoning, the city is proposing a building. We talked 40 stories in terms of square footage. 1,560,000 square feet. The existing building, if you could just track the numbers, is 640,000 square feet. They want to go to 1.5 million plus. The allowable zoning will only allow them to add 70,000 square feet. So at the end of the day, they're violating their own zoning ordinance by a factor of 2.2. If this was a private developer, again, this would be dead on arrival. It just would not happen. I studied a little more. There is seems to be a method to appeal this. There's a government group, part of the government agency, Board of Standards and Appeals, who grants zoning variances. They must hold a public hearing for this. So I think this is a very important line of attack to continue this fight.
睇下呢個事實咧就係點樣樣，佢嗰個建議之中啊，市長嘅建議之中咧，佢係1.58萬150萬嘅方尺，原本嗰個佢裏邊原本嘅轄區裏邊嗰個法例咧，只準係75000嘅，所以佢自己咧就係違反咗佢自己轄區嘅法例。咁如果係私人嘅發展商咧，佢係違反咗2.2倍咁多嘅，所以佢自己犯緊法嘅。
Right, so just again, generally, I found that was a very strong point to push back on this thing. I am preparing a letter myself to send into the city, so it touches on that issue, very prominent. I use a little bit stronger words, not quite as strong as when I presented at the community hearing. I actually want them to read the letter. But again, other things we need to highlight, as we've said, shadows. The size of the study area, the landmark issue, and traffic. So all of these are very real points that we need to push back on.
咁樣指咗係去紐約市嗰個辦公室嗰度係講亦都措辭好強啊，咁講話佢啲嘢唔啱嘅，譬如話佢個影啦。